the air on a Monday in the Quad Cities, and for the second straight week, we've made you guys wait a little bit. Everybody knows it's Monday, and everybody is oh so excited to get their week started with this handsome devil. Hi, Patrick.
How you doing, buddy? Hey, thank you for working around my schedule. I appreciate that.
Never. Hey, it's your show, man. I'm just living on it. You know, if you can, people don't watch this show 5 days a week. They watch it for Mondays, and then they keep watching in any hopes that you may pop on throughout the week. So,
I'm humbled, very humbled by that.
how was your weekend?
It was good. It was, we had some people over on Friday, and it was a late night, and then had the Gilda's Club event on Saturday, which was another late night. I can't be doing this stuff
Hold on.
two nights in a row.
Hey, real fast. I'm looking at my text messages. You had people over on Friday. God,
Yeah, I thought I called you.
Musta. Damn it. I'm telling you, my phone service sucks. So I apologize for not being there.
I could have sent it to the wrong one because when I first hopped on the link, I texted. I said, "Hey, I'm hopping on XOXOXO."
Yeah.
Well, it didn't go to you. It went to my wife. So
Hmm.
now she thinks I'm cheating on her. Um,
Well, she should know better than that.
she goes, "Who you hopping on with?" I'm like, "Oh gosh." So yeah,
So are you being serious? You actually did that?
I'm 100% serious. Yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately, I'm just cheating on her with you.
she
Which,
does realize that I mean, like, you can't cheat on her. You have to have somebody that
no,
wants to cheat with you. And like,
100%, 100 million%, absolutely.
can you,
Yeah.
I feel bad because I didn't make it Friday. Can you imagine like somebody having a get together and you show up and like realizing you're not invited? That's how I feel right now. It stinks. It
It's too
hurts.
bad. Yeah,
Can
I've
you
been there,
imagine
man.
that
It's
though?
not good.
Can you imagine
Yeah,
that?
it's not good.
No,
No,
it's
it's not a
just,
good thing.
but
Yeah.
I'll let it go. So do you think Mary's going to be upset? Like, should I call and smooth things over?
Yeah, you probably should. Well, now she's probably gonna have to watch the show just to make sure I'm actually on.
And then she gets punished. And that's not fair for her. So it's just a lose-lose
Correct.
situation. So,
Yep.
the
Yep.
Gilda's event, tell me about that. Cause I got a picture of you this weekend. You took a
Oh yeah,
picture with a buddy of
Shelby
mine.
did that. Yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, we there was some alcohol intake there, so some of it's a little bit blurry. But Gilda's Club's great. Great. It's a great organization. They help out a lot of people with cancer in our community, and my wife actually she donates weekly food there, so cancer patients can get food for free, and they have a really good relationship, and they honored her there, and just really cool. We've got a buddy. He started an organization called Steph's Tribe. His wife passed away from cancer, and they did a big donation to Anger Eats to basically pay for all those meals that are going to Gilda's Club. And we sat at a table with him, and just a really good event. Obviously emotional at times, and they had a stand up comedian at the end, which was it was perfect. It was funny. I was giggling.
So your wife does all this amazing stuff for the community and you're still cheating on her. What's wrong with you?
Cheating on her with a unemployed WQAD employee.
Some big-eared old fat
Yeah,
guy. Good for you, man. Well done.
yeah.
This was the last weekend. You know that, right?
I know. Last weekend of freedom. Yep.
Before youth baseball starts up, are you prepared mentally for what you put out a tweet or a post on X, whatever they call it now? And I giggled so much last week. It's something like, I want my kids to, experience all the fun that I did playing sports. I just hope every game and practice gets canceled. And that's exactly
Yep.
how I would say 90% of all parents feel about youth sports, isn't it?
Everybody that I've talked to, yeah. Now there's a couple outliers there, but those people are weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're ones you don't want to be a part of, and yeah. But yeah, it's funny because like I know I'll miss it when it's done. I know I'll miss it, but it's just a lot. It's a lot. Luckily, we haven't got into. I know there's some teams that have already played 3 to 4 tournaments already, and that's they're doing a good job of making kids want to quit. I think some of these organizations are, and obviously, when you go to some of these tournaments, you're paying $25 per person to get in, which is really only local here. You play anywhere else in the state, they don't make you pay to get in, on top of paying the $600 some tournament fee. But yeah, it's a weird time right now where I'm at. You know, we've been doing it, and same thing with you. Like my oldest is 13, so we've been doing this a long time, long enough to where we know what matters and what doesn't. Um, and really, you realize nothing matters. Just hey, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting time because, like, you know, there were times I'm sure probably with you when the kids were younger, you're like, you're all in it, right? You're in.
Yes.
And now it's like this does not matter at all. And I'm glad I realize it now as opposed to um, when I'm 10 years older and my kids are all done with it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm kind of doing is going through the second set where like the first two aren't done, but like I've experienced so much with those two and the second two are starting and I'm like I feel like I know a little more, which and you don't fault. I was the dumb, and I won't say dumb. That's mean, but I was the young parent, the naive parent that didn't kind of understand everything, and like this, the little medal on a April that you get when you're freezing the cold when your kid looks miserable, but he's like holding it, like, look what I brought home for you, mom. And it's just like, right. So yeah, no. And you mentioned it on our, maybe on social media, but on our text thread that we chat with, there's college baseball that you can go to that you can check out for a more economically priced, day than what you do for youth baseball, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to be nice because I do like everybody that runs tournaments and all that kind of stuff. So I don't get myself banned from anything or anywhere. But yeah, the Iowa baseball programs. Go ahead.
It's like when's enough, you know, and people are still going to continue to pay, and it's like you can't fault them for, hey, if people are going to pay, take the money, I guess, right? But it's also like come on, like what are we doing here? You're making enough, like just have some common sense, you know, and it's all the people in the community that are paying for it. So it's like you're stealing your neighbor's money. But I mean, people are going to pay to watch their kids, which is insane, but it's cheaper to go to an Iowa baseball game than it is to go watch your 8-year-old strike out in 30-degree weather. Yeah. And Iowa baseball is really good this year. They are really freaking good. I was watching their game against Northwestern over the weekend. They're fun to watch. And yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, why does it cost more to go watch an 8-year-old play, which I've already paid for him to get into the tournament, than it is to go watch one of the best teams in the Big Ten?
This is not a lie. 2 weekends ago, I was leaving a complex, and it wasn't even bad priced. It's not the price that we were talking about. It was a lesser price, but there was an older guy standing there, and he was trying to figure out what field was what and all that. I was like, "Oh, it's down there and to the left." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he looked at the thing, the ladies at the desk, and like, "What is it?" And I think it was $10 for the day. And he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "You, who's playing?" And he was an older gentleman, and he's like, "Oh, my grandson." It's like, $10 is just, you know, I don't know. And I'm like, I got you. Like he didn't do it, he wouldn't do it. But I'm like, I'll pay for you to get in. And he's just like, well, let me go back to my car, and they don't play for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he wanted me to do that, which I wasn't trying to make him. But I'm like, it's one thing. The parents and all that kind of stuff is one thing, but it's also like grandparents. Like if you want to go, and God bless my mom this weekend, she's like, the weekend pass, she's like, they play tomorrow. I'm like, yeah. She goes, well, I have church. And I'm like, well, no, then don't buy the weekend one. Just buy the one-day one. But here's $15 to go watch an hour of baseball up against a net where you can barely see because we're inside. So anyways, it is a great game.
And then there's an outdoor tournament and an indoor tournament. And if you've got kids in both, you've got to pay both admissions to get in. You got to pay for the outdoor $25 and you got to go pay for the indoor at the same complex. What is going on? Why are we doing this? What is going on? Like, it's the most insane freaking thing ever. And you're not supposed to complain and all that stuff, but like, it's like, come on, dude. Like, what's going on, man?
You're going to get me in trouble. That's all you're doing today.
I know, but it's just like, there's no common sense anymore. Like, come on.
Gosh,
you got enough money. Each team's paying damn near $700 to get into the tournament. But every parent's got to pay $25 for the weekend. Like, dude.
I love it. Keep going.
Sorry.
Don't stop
it's
now.
Everybody thinks the same thing. Just like they want it to get canceled. It's just like, dude, come on, man.
The unfortunate thing is when my kids play inside, I'm like, oh, like weather can't even help me. Like they're inside.
know, right?
They're inside. Yeah. The new thing this year for one of the tournaments this weekend, I think it's going to be that at a certain place. if you're, you know how you're like, God, I don't want to get the 8 o'clock game on Sunday. Like, get a win in pool play, so don't get that 8 o'clock game. You know, we can sleep in until 9:30. The 8 o'clock game is now a 7 o'clock game. The first game on Sundays is now 7 a.m., not 8 a.m.
Well, and then not to mention, there's some games at 10, 11 p.m. at night.
They start at 11:30. They start at 11:30.
But like, why is that allowed? Why is that legal? Why is that legal? These are like 8-year-old kids. What are we doing?
I don't know if they do it with the
Why is that
8-year-old
like?
kids,
Why
but
are
yes,
parents continuing to pay for that? It's so stupid.
let's make a change. What are we gonna do? Let's fix it right now. Let's start our own. Or
Don't sign
youth
up for those
organiz-
tournaments, and you don't have to do. I mean, I guess the thing is too. You know, if you don't like what's on TV, turn the channel. Right. Well, if you don't want to play at 11:30 at night, don't sign up for the tournaments.
Yeah, but here's my thing too: is like there's no alternative. Like,
Yep.
I mean, unfortunately, like the gap between that and another alternative is pretty big, and everybody. Hey, you got to remember, Pat, we're making Major League Baseball players, all right? Like, all these kids are
Right.
playing in the majors. Again,
Yeah.
I'll tell my little story. I covered the area for 25 years. 3 guys made the major leagues. A lot of guys played
Yep.
Division I baseball. A lot of guys played in the minors and all that kind of stuff, and they're awesome, and I love all of them. But like 3 guys, Cody Sedlock, Dakota Backus, and Jacob Junis are the 3 guys that I ever covered from this area. So Jacob's from Rock Falls. So I'm talking about the viewing area.
Yeah.
Those are the only 3 dudes that ever played in the Major League Baseball. But I swear there's like 10 of them that were at the complex this weekend that definitely are going to play in the major leagues, because obviously
Just ask the dads; they'll tell you.
yeah. So well, you've been too negative, Pat. Did you?
It's just what's going on here. Why? And everyone's saying it. No one's saying, but no one's doing anything about it. Everyone hates it.
So to recap, Pat hates baseball and he's cheating on his
I don't
wife.
mind baseball.
And he's cheating
don't-
on his
oh,
wife.
God.
Like, these are the 2 things that we've learned so far.
With Matt
on Randazzo.
Randazzo.
Yeah, with me. So my wife's thrilled because this could be her out. She could be like, "This is great. I can get out. I can.
Yeah.
I'm done with this." We had Joey VanWetzinga on earlier in the show. 5A Play of the Year. I know you know Rusty, Big Rusty, Dad. And you've watched him play in the past and stuff. He goes to the University of Iowa, so he graduated early, and he's already up at the University of Iowa and doing spring ball right now. You talk about, because I can't fathom you doing that earlier in your leaving and going. I don't know if you were ready when you went there as a freshman, more or less going up there and going early. I think it's a cool thing. I think he's getting a great opportunity and he's getting better and all that kind of stuff. But it takes the right human being to go up there early and enroll early, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and it's not surprising, you know, with his dad and his family. You know, Rusty's a great leader and a good human, and he's raised amazing kids. Obviously, you've talked to little Rusty, and he's at Central Michigan. He's going to be successful there. Yeah, it's to graduate early and to go up there. I mean, it's a huge risk you're taking, but it needs it takes somebody that wants to, I guess, improve and that kind of understands the maturity at that young age, which I didn't have and I still don't. You know, for me, like my funnest time in high school was that like senior year after like football and all that stuff was over. Like that was a good time. Cause it's hard. Cause like, you're never really going to see a lot of those kids, you know, pretty much most ever again.
You don't see any of your high school friends? Are you that big?
I mean,
time
I do, but
that
like
you're
never going to be together. You're never going to be together like that. Well, you know, I got a lazy eye and brain trauma and all that stuff. So vision's definitely very staticky. But no, it's props to him. He's going to get better. And I know they're going to love having him and he's going to have a great career. Dude's a beast.
I joked with him that like, I'm like, you're up there. Have you had that, you know, welcome to college football moment? And he just kind of laughed. He goes, "Oh, I have them all the time." Did you have a welcome to college moment when you got there and you were on the practice field and something happened that you're like, "Oh, damn, I'm not at Bettendorfer anymore. This is Big Ten football"?
I don't know I mean, kind of what he said, like it was just constantly, constantly getting your ass kicked the whole time, you know, when you're younger, like, but you know, that's what it is. That's how you grow, you know, iron sharpens iron. And, you know, luckily there's a lot of guys there, that when I was there, I mean, I had a lot of really good leaders, you know, Hinkle and Malloy, Chad and Abdul, Brian Ferens, Elgin, just all these like really good guys that were, you know, good leaders for me and helped me out quite a bit. But, when it comes time to compete against each other, they're not gonna take it easy on you, because if they're helping you out like that, then they're hurting you, so they're gonna hold you accountable. And I definitely lost a whole hell of a lot more than I won my first couple years at Iowa.
It's a different position. Obviously, he's got to put some size on. How did your and who do we have on Drinkle? I think Coach Drinkle said like you could tell Pat was like ready for Division I football body wise. How drastically did you see your body change from high school to that first year? Because you see it with linemen and getting bigger and stronger and all that kind of stuff. But I'm assuming for a linebacker as well, they got to work with you and changed the body of what a high school football player can be to what can happen in the NFL or in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just understanding nutrition, and Coach Doyle and the rest of the strength staff did a really good job of that. And I know Ray does a good job of that now. And they're fed a lot more and a lot better than they're able to be fed a lot more, a lot better than we were. I mean, I think I graduated high school at like 190 something pounds. End of my first year, I was probably 220. So, a 30-pound swing there, and still being able to keep the speed that I had. And getting stronger and all that stuff. So yeah, just understanding, like, I mean, gosh, in high school I'd get done with a workout and I'd eat like a bag of Skittles, and that would be that. Obviously, you've got to get the protein in, and the nutrition and the supplementation and all that definitely helps, especially with as hard as you're training at Iowa. Like, it's not easy, and you need the calories and you need the right nutrition to get better.
So you have all this knowledge. Why don't you continue to use this knowledge to this day?
Well, the problem, anybody that I'll tell it to, they won't listen. Especially my kids.
But can you tell it to yourself? I'm talking about yourself. Forget your kids.
No, I mean, my knowledge that I have is really, I can gain weight. Like, that's what I've learned, from being in Iowa. So I am using that knowledge
to this
every day.
You're like in the master's class. You're that good now. That's
yeah. I'm still in the bulking phase.
I told Joey, I tell all these guys, if you want to put weight on, like, hang out with me for like a week and a half. Like, go on a pull up pop run with me and Weezy, like, every single day. And I guarantee you'll put weight on fast. And I don't mean that in a negative way, Weezy. If he's listening to this, he's probably going to be like, oh yeah, bring my name up when you talk about putting on weight. That was not the intent by any stretch. Couple more for you, and I got to let you go tackle the world and be an amazing human being that you are. Draft is 2 weeks out ish. Kind of. Yeah. Like 2.5 weeks out. 2.5 weeks out before you got drafted. Do you remember like what phase it is in right now? And like it kind of the hay's in the barn, isn't it? That like what's done is done, and like you're ready to go.
Yeah, I don't remember if there are any visits or anything with teams up until this point. I can't remember. I went to a couple places, but nothing crazy. I mean, right now you've done what you can do. Your pro day, the combine, all that stuff's over with, and it's just maybe right now, maybe you take a little bit of a break. I'm not sure. I don't even remember how it works. I know. I mean, think about a lot of these guys. They played a full season, did the bowl game thing, and then went right into training. So now it's kind of time to, hey, let's take a step back. Let's relax. And maybe you turn your focus into, as opposed to combine training and pro day training are completely different than actual football training. It's way, way different. So then maybe you take some time off and you start focusing on, hey, get back into football shape. And because once, mini camps and rookie mini camps and all that stuff start, you want to be ready to go.
That's one thing that Logan Lee talked about last year with me, is that he just found it strange that you train for something completely different than what football actually is. And that's what it's like, isn't it? You're like completely training for something, and then you got to go back to train for football. Combine and football, while I get the correlation of what it means, they are two different things.
Yeah, and it's interesting because people put such a like huge meaning to the combine, and really it's, you can either play or you can't. And it doesn't matter if you run a 4.2 if you don't know where the hell the ball is. But yeah, it's different. It's different. There's a lot of guys that look real good at the combine, but they can't really do anything. I remember playing the Raiders, gosh, when we were young, when I was my first year, I think, or second year. I can't remember, but they had a bunch of, at that time, they were drafting guys based off the combine. And everybody on their team was like 6'5" and had abs and ran 4.4s, but they were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. It was just like, Like, I don't know. Like I shouldn't be beating you right now. Like I am 5'10" and fat. Like what's going on?
Are you really 5'10"?
I'm getting shorter. I'm getting shorter
But playing
and
days
heavier.
wise, they said 6 foot, right?
I was 6'2" in high school. I
No,
was
you
6'1" in
were not.
college. I was listed as 6'2" in
Okay.
high school, 6'1"
Okay.
in college, and 6 foot in the NFL. But I
You're
think I'm teetering the 5'11", 6 foot thing right now.
okay. So quit saying 5'10" because I know you're. I like to fancy myself at 6 foot. I tell people I'm 6 foot. And
Well, I guess we'll have to. We'll see. Yeah, maybe are we the same? I don't know. I don't know if we're the same size or not.
um no, I don't think we are. I don't think we are. Did you watch any basketball this weekend? The Final Four stuff was great, and people bitched about like no upsets and all that kind of stuff. I'd rather have two really good Final Four games than to have like Fairleigh Dickinson getting their ass kicked in the Final Four or something like that. That's my opinion. Your thoughts on if you watched any basketball this weekend?
Yeah, we did. We watched. Well, it was we had the Gills event was that night, so we were able to have it on and kind of followed it a little bit, but didn't watch the whole thing. We afterwards we went to the bar and finished the Duke game. What a wild ending there, huh? What do you think
I,
about that foul call? Would you have called it?
no, but I got to
Yeah,
talk to my buddy Don Numlin about it because he's
yeah,
like the. In fact, I should call him up and have him on the show. Maybe we'll do that.
as you
But
should.
no,
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you think Vegas gave that ref a call? Like, hey, we need a call here.
do you think like is it a foul in the second quarter?
See, that's a great question. That's
Because he
I don't
probably
know. I
did.
honestly, they shouldn't even call fouls in basketball, in my opinion.
Then we will never play basketball if we're not calling any fouls. Then I want no part of it. No, but
There are no fouls in war.
have,
Why are there
have
fouls in basketball?
why aren't there fouls in war? That would be interesting. If all of a sudden Ukraine was like, whoa, 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 Russia, that's a
Well,
personal foul. You fouled out. Like I win.
well, let's not get too political here, Matt.
No, that's true. I don't want to do that. Um, did you have a sporting event or a game that you choked like that? Like, can you remember something where you're just like, I can't believe we were set and we'd won this game, and then all of a sudden we were shaking hands as losers.
Um, I mean, there were times in wrestling when I'd be winning and I'd get pinned. But that probably happened quite a bit. Usually, I
Was
wasn't winning
Can
before
you
they pinned
flip
me.
it where there was a time that you were down a ton and you thought there's no way we're going to win this game, and all of a sudden you're like, hell yeah, we won the game. I'm trying to think of like football games in Iowa that you guys had crazy comebacks for,
Well, I
anything
mean,
like that.
obviously, the time we had to block 75 field goals against you and I,
Yeah.
um, that was kind of one where I was like, "Okay, we're going to lose this game. What's
Yeah.
going on?
And that
This
was the
isn't good."
special season of the greatest Iowa football team ever, wasn't it? Wasn't that '09?
I, you said it. Yep. Greatest Iowa football, probably greatest college football team
I mean,
of all time.
um, that year, did you block? You blocked the first one and then you recovered the second one, or no? You just recovered the second one. You didn't block anything.
Yeah, I didn't block any of them. No.
So you won't remember
I
this.
was,
I know I've told you this before, but like I got a camera on my shoulder. I'm shooting it, and like it happens, and you block the second one, and you have the football, correct? Like you have the ball.
yeah, which you shouldn't jump on it because the ball goes past line of scrimmage, right? It's a dead ball. But at that point, I'm just like, let's get the game over with.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're running out there, and somebody says to me, "Angerer blocked it," and then like I see you with the ball, and the guy's like, Andy recovered it." So like everybody's going crazy, and I'm like close to you. I'm like, "Hey, can we chat?" Like, and you're not supposed to do interviews on the field. And you're like, we're like afterwards or whatever. And I go, "Did you block it and recover it?" And you looked at me and you go, well, you cursed. You go, "F no, I'm not Jesus Christ or something." And then you ran off the field. And I'm like, and I turned to somebody, I'm like, "Did he block and recover it?" And people are like, "No, he didn't do that." I'm like, well, that was the dumbest question I've ever asked a guy in my life. So I had you down for being like the greatest special
Thank you.
teamer of all time and blocking a kick and going back. Yeah, but you guys were done. Like you guys were when you messed up the first field goal. I'm like, oh my God, this is such high
Yep.
expectations and season
Yep.
might be over. And then that
Yep.
happened. Do you feel just like dirty or cheap or lucky when you're leaving?
Well, I think you get what you earn, you know. So, yeah, I mean, we needed to be better. I thought honestly, defensively, we did okay. That was a really tough offense to play against. But there were some things we needed to work on and we needed to improve on. And that was a tough game. And that was a tough UNI team. And everybody was like, "Oh, you guys looked, you didn't think they were that good." It's like, yeah, we did. We struggled all week trying to figure out what they were doing offensively. That was tough. They did a good job moving the ball around, quick passes, and but no, didn't feel dirty. Felt lucky and was happy that we won.
No, that's a relief.
Jeremiah Hunter was the one that blocked that last one. Jeremiah Hunter. So give Jay Hunt some credit.
He watches every show, so I appreciate you doing that. I didn't want to get in trouble with he. Hey, I know you're busy and you got meetings to go to and you got to tackle the world and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for doing this. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
I love you, man. Hey, thanks for helping me out, brother. You're a good American.
Hey, quit cheating on Mary. We'll see you, buddy.
Stop it.
That is Pat Anger joining us as he always does on a Monday right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We got more to get to. We'll be right back right after this. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak, with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo, now even easier to find, but still hard to resist. When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air on a Monday right here in the Quad Cities. Thank you if you're watching on X or even on YouTube and you had to switch real fast. Little bump in an internet here at the Randazzo household. So today's show in 2 parts on YouTube, but that's okay. It was nice in the middle of a commercial break, so it made it so a nice little transition into part number 2. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling, and we are ready to rock for what should be a couple quick things I want to talk about before we wrap up the show. A big weekend for the Quad City Steamwheelers. The Wheelers winning once again, this time on the road. They're now 3-0, so they're 3-0 as an official sponsor of the Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. So I don't want to take all the credit, guys, but good things seem to happen. So anyways, we'll do our Steamwheeler Wednesday coming up on Wednesday this week and talk about a 3-0 football team that comes back to the Vibrant Arena this Saturday. So no better time than now to get some tickets and check out what should be a great game with Iowa once again coming up this Saturday night, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday night, April 12th. Yep. Saturday night. So also we have a national championship game. I thought the Final Four was great. I thought, for all the complaining people had about the lack of upsets, I'd much rather have a Final Four with quality basketball the way it was right there than seeing, North Carolina State and San Diego State play or whatever it was last year. So good basketball. A great one tonight. Florida will take on Houston for a national championship. Also, more importantly, the bracket challenge here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo nearing an end. And it's a competitive one as always, and some familiar names as well. As of right now, if Houston wins tonight, Chad Baker and Chad Cook will be tied for the championship. And I'm trying to think because I'm pretty sure we had a tiebreaker on here. Boy, I hope we did. We'll see. I got to figure out what the tiebreaker was. I think pretty sure it was points. So I got to figure out where the points is on this thing. I know it was. But anyways, those two would tie and they go down to a point total. I do need to point out that my mom is in 3rd place. And if Houston wins, she will finish in 3rd place. So she's pretty excited about that. If Florida wins, for a while it was Scott Morrell as the guy that would take it, but Duke kind of messed him up a little bit with Duke losing. Mark Nessler, Ness guess himself, will win this year's pool if Florida wins tonight. So basically it's down to Mark Nessler versus the Chads, Chad Baker and Chad Cook. We want to thank Godfathers, Hungry Hobo, and Snoops for helping us do this year's inaugural Off the Air bracket challenge. We'll do another one next year. We'll do some other fun stuff too. I'm thinking about a Masters pool, maybe. I got to figure that out tonight and get it out here. So yeah, congratulations to the people that are still doing well. Let me look real fast as I ramble along. I wonder who's in last place. If it's somebody I can make fun of. I should even see where I'm at. Colton's doing well. He's in 39th place. Carson in 32nd. Oh, I'm probably not doing great because of Duke. Duke got me. In last place is, and if it's somebody I like, I won't make fun of you. I'm hoping it's somebody. Brian Stocking is in 4th to last place and can't win. So, yeah. Oh, Stockpile. He, stick to high school, I guess, buddy. But yeah, thank you guys for taking part, and thank you to all of our sponsors for making that happen this year as well. We want to thank you guys for watching. A great group of guests today. If you missed any of it, Jess Settles joined us earlier to preview that national championship game. More importantly, to talk about the Iowa basketball program and kind of what's coming up. He's got a great perspective of college basketball these days, one of the best color analysts in the business. So thank you to Jess Settles. Joey VanWetzinga, the 5A player of the year from Pleasant Valley, already up at Iowa, enrolling early, taking full advantage of spring practice. He joined us as well. And then Pat Anger in hour number 2 of our show today. Working on some things tomorrow, but I did mention already the show that coming up on Wednesday, new Iowa assistant basketball coach Josh Sash will be on the show on Wednesday. So we're super excited about that. Just lined up Andrew Lehman for Thursday. We'll talk about some John Deere Classic stuff, but most importantly, the Masters starts on Thursday. So we'll do some Masters talk with him. So a lot to get to throughout the week. Most importantly, want to thank you guys for watching, and also got to thank our sponsors for allowing me to get to do this every single day. Thank you to them, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo.